How Pixar movies make you feel all the feelings in just a few minutes? That same storytelling magic can make your college essay stand out. I'm going to share 3 steps to get your writing to be the best it can be using the Pixar method. I'll show you why the third step is the most important part of your essay. And it is the most important part, so stay tuned for that. I'm Jen, and after decades of helping students with their college applications and personally reading thousands of college and scholarship essays, I'm going to share Pixar's secret sauce for storytelling. First, let's talk about why stories work, because they really do. Admissions officers read thousands of essays about being team captain, winning the big game, that mission trip, or getting straight A's. But with over 20,000 high schools in the US and more than 50,000 varsity teams of all sorts, that's a lot of valedictorians and team captains. Plus, more than 1 million students go on mission trips too. How do you share your personal experiences to make your essay memorable? You tell a story. When you tell your story like Pixar, you're not just sharing what happened, you're taking readers on an adventure. And who doesn't love an adventure? Let me break down the 3 steps and give you some examples. Step 1 starts with the setup. Then there's the moment, and then there's the transformation. The setup starts with once upon a time. You're starting from where you used to be and who you used to be. But here's the trick. You want to make it specific. So here are 2 examples. A bad example, I've always been interested in science. A good example gives more details. I was the kid who turned our garage into a makeshift lab, mixing kitchen ingredients until my mom banned me from using her baking soda. And we all know baking soda and vinegar together does amazingly cool things. Here's another bad example. I'm a quiet person and definitely an introvert. A lot of people could probably write that. But here's a good example. I never wanted to raise my hand or be noticed in my classes. I'd break into a cold sweat when I knew it was nearly my turn to read out loud in class, especially if I had to read poetry. See the difference? Too many students write a not so good example that happens to be kind of boring and just very generic. Anybody could write that statement. You want to tell us details and use some of those good examples because they might make us smile, connect with your story, because we have memories of those things too, especially the baking soda and vinegar part. And let us, the readers, picture what happened. The details make your story unique to you. The second part is the aha moment, or as Pixar likes to say, until one day. This is your game changer aha moment. Remember, it doesn't have to be huge. The important thing is that it made a difference to you and was a meaningful moment for you. Maybe you failed spectacularly at something, or maybe just failed a little bit at something. Perhaps you discovered something unexpected about yourself, or maybe you had to step up when no one else would. And of course, there's always that time that someone saw something in you before you saw it in yourself. And that changed how you viewed yourself and maybe even how you viewed what was going on around you. So let's try that science example again. Until one day, my chemistry experiment literally blew up in my face and I realized failure was just data collection in disguise. How about another public speaking example? Until one day, my English teacher invited me to be on the debate team, and I realized I could be good at public speaking when I was thoroughly prepared. And I learned I really do like arguing my point. Those are some detailed examples that you can then picture what the person's talking about. So if you're starting to write these things and you're laughing, crying, maybe cringing while you're writing about it, you're probably on the right track with your topic and your story. Now, you don't want to spend most of your essay, 3/4 of your essay on step 1 and step 2, right? Because I told you step 3 was the most important. And that's because step 1 and step 2 are just setting you up for step 3. Think about it this way. Step one is telling admissions people who you used to be, and that's not as important as who you are now and the growth and the change you've been through. So the third part is the most important part of your essay. And this part should take up the most space in your essay. That's because it's all about your transformation. Or, again, as Pixar likes to say, because of that aha moment, I became this. So, this is where you show your growth in your journey. But we want to keep writing like an adventure, right? We don't want to get boring. Adventure. A no detail example could be I started to love debate and went on to compete at regionals. I plan on continuing debate in college. Now, nothing wrong with that, but it's just very general. A better example is I came to love debate, preparing my arguments until late at night with the rest of the team, going through boxes of research we had collected. I loved the camaraderie of my teammates and the adrenaline rush of nerves and excitement when it was my turn to speak. I did so well, I made it to the regional competition. Hopefully, you can hear the difference in that, and you can also get a better picture in your head of what that student was going through. Some questions I want you to think about when you're thinking about your transformation. What surprised you about yourself? Your experiments failed, but you learned something in that failure. That can be a sign of growth. What made you say, plot twist, someone who doesn't like to speak in class and is suddenly on the debate team and doing well? There's a story there. And how did this change your game plan? Did your love of science diminish with failed experiments? Did your enjoyment of debating lead you to flourish in public speaking? What did that growth look like? And how are you different now than you were before? All because of that aha moment. That's that second step. Admissions counselors, we love to see how you think and how you've grown and not just what you achieve. Be sure to consider that when you're sharing and writing your essay. And remember, avoid sharing so much about who you were once upon a time to share more about who you are now and what you learned about yourself as you changed. Let's take a quick look at Buzz Lightyear's essay outline. He'll add the details later. At least that's what he told me. Once upon a time, I thought I was a true galactic hero. I thought I crashed on an alien planet and everyone around me was an enemy, so I was suspicious. Until one day, I saw a TV commercial that showed I was just a mass produced toy. I became depressed and I stopped trying to escape. Because of that, I didn't really feel like I had a purpose. But Woody's friendship made me realize I could step up, use my wings to fall with style, and help all of us escape from that kid, Sid. I now accept my identity as a toy, and I know that I can bring a lot of joy to children. What do you think? Maybe Buzz could get into essay writing using Pixar? I don't know. Here are my 3 bonus tips because you stuck with me this long, and I think this will really help you as well as all the Pixar tips. Start with brainstorming. Your first idea might not be your best. Get your phone and record your thoughts. Sit down at your computer and just start writing. Use the prompts, use whatever comes to mind about your aha moments. I have a worksheet that you can download coming up, so you're more than welcome to use that to go through it step by step. Write an outline of all your ideas. Just get your ideas written down so then you can start to play with them and see what's a good idea. Again, it may not be your first idea. Second tip, make sure you use I statements and not you or writing in the third person. I statements make it personal, and that's what this essay is. It's a personal statement. It's about you. When you say you, you're telling me what I should do as an admissions counselor. And I always chuckle a little when someone's like, you should pack your bags and go on a trip to Paris because it's an amazing place. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. You think about that. Don't tell the admissions people what to do. Tell us what you did. And then don't write in the third person. That's for your English classes, for book reports. One should always wear one seatbelt when one is in the car. Although that is true, that is not what you're looking to write. If your family or you have somebody who reads it and they say, this is kind of informal, that's okay. That's a good thing. We don't want formal. We want to know about you. And then the last thing, number 3, bonus tip, Be sure to add sensory details. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell? Help us come on the adventure with you. And those sensory details really put us there with you. We get to experience it with you. So do think about those things as you're writing. Now, finally, I talked about the brainstorming, I talked about the writing. These are the things that you can do. Okay. Friend, it's time to get writing, and family supporting your writer. So no more procrastinating. You have a story to tell, and you have a new framework to help you write it. And to get the framework, in case you weren't taking copious notes while I was talking, check out our free College TNT Pixar Method worksheet with the QR code here or the link below in the YouTube notes. Look for my next videos where I'll be talking about 5 essay topics even Elsa would say to let it go, and 999 happy details, or how the Haunted Mansion can teach you how to add details that matter to your essay. And believe me, I will come up with a much better title by the time I load that into YouTube. So thank you so much for being here. Now go tell your story. Good luck.